Namaste, Jai Shri Krishna to all the devotees. Hope you all are safe and healthy. Time is about, so we say time is a moving time. All the time we think about what to do, what to not to do. Many times we think what we can do to keep our culture alive. But to keep the culture alive, we need to first understand what is our culture. That is the basic things we need to understand. What is our culture? What we can do in our culture? How far we can go in our culture, or other side, how much we can compromise in our culture? This question need to be asked ourselves, and that is why the main question of mine is today is how we can keep our culture alive. Because in these days, systematically, and this is not the first time I'm saying time and again to remind us that we are being victim of the false propaganda of the special people who using them money power into the social media and slowly brainwashing our youth and our younger generation by using the intellectual word and also by giving them a convenient life skill, and this is what we need to be stopped, and that's where I'm starting away what we can do to keep our culture alive. And that is why I started like that to be what is our culture. This question we need to ask what is our culture, and then we can say okay, if these are the 10 things come in our culture, then now what we can do to keep them alive. So the first things first, our culture is the respect. Respect of elderly, respect of parents, respect of guru, respect of institutions, and respect of what we have. Now, that is the first criteria we look in our culture. We are being taught about we must give a respect to get the respect. Okay. So, systematically over the past year, so many years, these are the branded and marketing gurus has put the poison in our children mind, where they are being taught that the respect word is non-exist become. Nobody want to respect to each other, and the respect is something which is, we always says, until there was a respect in our house, in our system of our Hindu tradition, our the way it was, our Hindu lifestyle was designed. Until the respect was there, there was a unite family. The moment the breakup happened from the respect and is becoming a divide family. Initially, people used to feel, how can my loved ones treat me like this? But now it's becoming an acceptance of the bad behavior of the very convenient personalities towards the elderly, and that is not our culture. Now, what we can do to keep the respect alive? This question need to be asked. Should we enforce the respect on the somebody who don't want to give you respect? That is not right to do. So what we can do? So then the answer is, don't look the damage, let's look the fix up. So the fixing up start from the childhood. Current age of the child who is a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, we must start teach them how to respect. But how is going to be possible? How that is going to be possible? So then coming back to the parents. Now parents need to be understand, if they not going to give a respect, child will not listen to you, child will do only what you do. Remember one thing. Therefore, the parents need to start act to giving respect to them parents. And vice versa, in all level, they must respect to everybody. So then child will watch, child will see, child will look, and very same way the child will behave. Otherwise, we at this stage we talking about the respect, we talking about the keeping alive the culture. 20 years later we are going to talk about the what is the culture. And this is the first step of the culture is respect. Respect towards everything. Every single step we move in our life, we must first put in our mind, respect everything. But how we can develop these qualities? Then the second part our culture teach us, humbleness, kindness. I'm not here to give you any kind of the spiritual lecture. This is the reality I'm talking about here. So the reality is kindness and humbleness. Are we really kind towards each other? Oh, we kind when we need towards each other. Oh, we humble when we need towards each other. Need to be asked this question. We are becoming opportunistic personalities. When the opportunities comes, when we see somebody, we want somebody to be help me. Oh, then we look forward towards, okay, and then we make a 10 phone call and we go to visit them and all other propaganda we do. Why? Because in back of our mind, we know what we expecting from the person in return. While the humbleness and kindness is, don't wait for anything to return. Humbleness and kindness must be in our behavior. When we bring that humbleness and kindness in our behavior, then automatically the respect will be out. So humbleness, kindness and respect, these are the three basics of our culture. Otherwise, it's no use to say, I am following my culture by wearing the traditional dress once in a year on Diwali night and having a nice selfie with the pictures, with the diyas and wearing the traditional dress, and throughout the year those traditional dress stays in a cupboard. And then we claim ourselves, I am very rich in my culture. But what about another 334 days, which we don't bother about anything? We don't worry about anything, about our culture. And I'm again says, We are quick to claim our culture when somebody else do the good, but when it's come for us to implement very same values in our life, we will hold back. Simple I will example I will give you. In last few days and then in future too, like recently in United States of America, the new Vice President Kamala Harris has taken over positions, and one video came to my notice. I don't know how, I'm still busy with that video authentication, but it video claim she, before she took over the office, there was a Vedic mantra was chant in her office, and then she took over the office, and everybody sharing the video. Very good. I like that part. We must feel proud about it. If it is a true video, we must feel proud about it. No doubt on it. Now I will ask you who's sharing the video. Tomorrow when you're going to become a manager of your company, tomorrow when you're going to become a supervisor of your company, tomorrow when you get to get new job in your new field, tomorrow when you walk into your office, tomorrow when you walk in your business place, tomorrow when you are starting your job, will you going to chant any mantra at your office desk? Will you going to light the agarbatti of dhoop at your office desk? Leave the agarbatti. Will you going to light the dio at your office place? Will you going to be chant any of the mantra in your workplace or when you take over any new positions? So on what ground we are sharing that video to 100 people, and why we feeling the proud about it? Whatever she doing because she feel it, and we only sharing why what she's doing, but why can't we do it? When it's come to for us to do, no, my boss will feel bad. Eh? But what about her boss? We sharing thousands time videos. Feel proud. Oh, this is my culture. Yes, it's your culture. But why don't you implement that culture in your lifestyle? But when it's come to the implementations for ours, then we're going to find excuses. We're going to find hundreds of the reason why shouldn't I do. And that's where in last year didn't manage, but every year when Ram Navami used to come, I used to be tell all my congregations, all my devotees, 12 o'clock afternoon, we're making Aarti, and you make sure you in the mandir that time. You have to work around your timing. You have to tell your boss, okay, this is my celebrations, I'm going. 1 hour, lunch hour, you mustn't take if possible. And you must visit mandir strongly. This is what we can do to keep our culture alive. Okay, 1 year because of the corona, that's a situation we didn't manage it. But up to the 2019, all the devotees who understand me, who follow me, who believe me, they used to take the leave afternoon 12 o'clock. Make sure they in the mandir to perform the aarti. It was that we created that, and we must do it. Why we feel shy about it? What's wrong about it? These are the things called the small things, but make a huge difference in our culture, because that's where our children will learn. If my father, if my mother taking the off from the job to attend the mandir services when it's come to the Ram Navami afternoon 12 o'clock, when the child will be in a position, child will be do the same things what you used to do. And I used to tell, if your child coming out from the school, may bring the child too in the mandir. No problem, even if it is in a school dress. No problem at all. That's where we start to keep our culture alive. One day everything will be open. One day we will be normal. One day we will be celebrate our festival the way we used to. This situation cannot be permanent, cannot be forever. Maybe the system change, but the celebrations will be there. So what we can do, my question is that, so these are the things we can do, how we can do, so these are the steps we can take to keep our culture alive. So I started with the respect, kindness, humbleness, and then I'm going towards to implementation of the basics of our values which we are being taught about. Third part, most important. In our house, I understand husband and wife work, so hectic life is being produced like that. Life is hectic, and I can't say wrong about it, because maybe it is a hectic life with lots of responsibilities and duties and everything. But if we think ourselves, if we think, just put slight different logic, apply different logic. That's why I'm coming back to my first talk, when the house values, house arrangement, system of the house. Before, in one house, 10 people used to stay, and there was one person who used to manage the 10 people. The source of income also was different, and the expenses was also as expenses right now what we are. According to them, compare, if we put the income which they used to earn and expenses which they used to do, and income which is the level, the amount income which we are earning these days, more or less will be the very close. But the difference is, there was 10 people in the house, and today is only 4 people in the house. They never claim themselves, I am living very hectic life, but today we claiming ourselves, I am living very hectic life. There was no depression and stress. Today every person is under the depression and stress. Why? There is no communication in the family. There is no communications into the open communications with the family. This is what we need to be identified. This is what we need to think about it. So when husband and wife come to from the work with the children, if they have 2 small children, it's fine. Talk nicely, relax, talk openly. Once your talk is over, make sure minimum 30 minutes. Minimum 30 minutes. You must find a time, either in the morning or in the evening, one of the time. Minimum 30 minutes. Entire family must sit into the front of the lamp and either chant the mantra, read the Bhagavad Gita, anything, 30 minutes minimum must do. How we can keep our culture alive? This is the steps which I am giving you, where we can move towards keeping our culture alive. It's not necessary, it is not nice that we wear one day the traditional clothes, I am repeating again, and we said, my culture is very rich. No, we must take steps, lead towards the keeping our culture alive. That's why I said, first things first, we need to know what is our culture is. We need to identify, okay, these are the 10 criteria I will follow in my life as my culture, and I will not compromise when it's come to that part. That's where I started with basic things. I'm not even giving you many big kind of the things, basic things, respect to everybody, be a kind, humble. Then after make sure whenever the celebrations come, festival comes, make the time to attend the services into the place of the worship consistently without compromising. And as I said, whatever I am saying is I have told in the past, and the people are following that guideline too, and they are doing the same thing what I am telling them to do. And up to now, not even one case in my life, up to now, not even one case in my life which I have heard a person has attended the Ram Navami festival 12 o'clock afternoon, went to the back into the office, and the boss has scolded that person. Not even one case. Actually, in fact, I can tell you that those who has regular attended Ram Navami festival over the years, they are becoming them promotions was very easy and soft. This is, I can tell you, guaranteed, and they all watching me. They all watching me. I know what exactly. Easy promotion, soft promotions. They never compromise anything, and neither they force themselves on the boss. Okay, no, I must do it. No, they just put a simple understanding about today is my festival and I have to attend 1 hour. Please give me a leave. And boss says no problem, you can go. And they come 1 hour exactly, and then everybody knows my timing is my timing. I don't compromise with my time. There's another things when it's come to our culture teaches value the time. Time is very important. I can tell you this is a very small story, but is important story to know for us. In 1998 time, I was 18-year-old that time. In India, basically, when we go to the some areas, like if we are in areas, and if we say my kaka's house, mama's house, or boy's house, or if them house is just close by, we just go and visit. Hello, how are you? That is one part of the culture too. Today, our children don't, even if they write to next door, they don't even visit them uncle or boy or auntie's house. Sometimes they try to run away from that. Oh, I don't want to visit their house. But in the part of our culture, when you are in that area, then you make sure you must visit them houses. If somehow if they come to know that you was in the area, you didn't come to them house, then you have to give a 10 answer. Arey, I'm talking about 1998. Before I come to that part, I'm talking about in 2019 when I went to the India. This time we said okay, we were going to do the first. You see, every time when I visit India, I divide myself into two parts. The first part is to visit a family member. The second part is a little bit touring with the family, visiting the holiday places. Because I was going in this time with the as normal time, but I got advice that rather than you must do the first holiday, means the touring, instead of doing the later on, because of the weather was getting cold and raining and other things. So then I changed my itinerary. So I started visiting the first all my holidays and everything, means touring and everything. Somehow 15 days, it was 2 weeks stories. So first 2 weeks I spent on a touring, and then next 2 weeks I was going to be visit. Now somewhere or other a message came to, oh, this person came here and yet haven't even visited. Now when I went to the visit to my respectable family members, the first things was they asked me, oh, you remember me now? But this is what our culture teaches us. They expect us to be, give them a nice respect, and nothing wrong about it. Then we explain it, but these are the reason it, and that's why, and they understand. It's not that I don't understand. Some thick skin is different, but generally people understand. But I'm coming back to the value of the time. Value of the time. So when I do my festival, when I say 1 hour means stick 1 hour, that everybody knows. And most of people, everybody knows when I say 10 o'clock, I'm starting means 10 o'clock on dot, my prayer starts. Even in the even when you go to your, when I come to your house, and is nothing new what I'm saying. Everybody knows that part. When I tell 10 o'clock means 10 o'clock is starting, 9 o'clock means 9 o'clock is starting, unless it's really rare emergency come, and then I delay 10 minutes. Maximum my delay time is a 10 minutes, maximum delay time. And this is what I have learned into the 1998 time, before, prior to I stand in. Why? Because that time I say, we are being told like that, we are being taught like that. So when I used to visit my family members, so if I have allocated 15 minutes or 20 minutes to visit them, an 18-year-old child, what is his priority? 18-year-old person, that time we can say child, what must I do? There was no job, nothing, just learning and education. So there is nothing like schedule type of the lifestyle, but that time also I have kept it my life very scheduled. So I must allocate 15 minutes, I am going to visit that person, maximum 5 minutes extra, so 20 minutes. As soon as the 14 minutes happened, then I said, okay, thank you very much, I am leaving. And then they said, no, best na kitli baat. Then I said, no, I don't have a time. You're not going to believe, that time there was a people who was laughing on me too. Oh, and then they was telling me, oh, you are a prime minister, where you always says you don't have a time, you don't have a time. You're working on the clockwise. And I didn't bother about it. I was carried on. But today, after the many years, very same people, when they meet me, they said, oh, 100% you were right. You kept it yourself, your timing is, time level is perfect. Today we can understand why you was focusing on time. That is why today where you are and where we are. They understand value of the time. So what I'm trying to say is, if you want to keep our culture alive, then you make sure your time management is proper. To keep our younger generations into the system, it's very important that you manage your time. It's not that you tell your child, oh, we are having this prarthana, and then drag 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Now, if you tell your child 7 o'clock there, 7:15 is over, means 7:15 is over, finished. Then after, no further discussion. Time is very important to keep our culture alive. These are the basics I'm talking about. I'm not talking about very strong rules in your life. Basic rules I'm talking about, and we can implement those basic rules. There's nothing which cannot be implemented. It can be implemented. So I'm saying time. Now, what does our culture teach us? As I said, respect, kindness, humbleness, time management, spending the time with the family, and knows the value of the family. So these are the basics one. Another basic about our culture is very it appears to be, oh, is non-important, but it's play a very big role. Connectivity. Yes, what meaning connectivity means? We must adopt the policy to connect each other. Today's our connectivity is over the only WhatsApp, and through our social media, Facebook and everything is fine. Everybody knows what you're doing, where you're going, pictures and everywhere. But this is what you must remember too, and many people must have went through. In these days, the world is becoming so small. So even after 6 months or 6 years or 10 years or 1 year or 8 months, even after 8 9 months, when you meet the person, your own family member person, your kaka, your mama, your whoever you meet, maximum the talk between two of the person is happen is maximum how many minutes happen? Maximum I'm talking about 3 minutes. How are you? કેમ છો? મજામાં? આ છે તે છે આ બધું maximum is 3 minutes. Over that, after 3 minutes is all is gossip. Productive talk is only 3 minutes. So our culture teach us that we must talk productive. What is the productive system? What we can bring the productivity in our family system, in our surrounding system? Productive talk, very important. So what is the productivity means? Productivity means ke bhai, think about ke bhai, if someone in amongst our family, if someone is going through a bad time of the life, financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, think about it, of what we can do, how we can help that person, how we can do something to create the comfortable feeling about that person. This is the our culture teaches, but most of time we waste our time about talking the gossip about that person. Gossip is something very dangerous for our culture. We're not getting anything, we're losing more than we actually getting, and that is why I always says, without demand there is no supply. The gossip is coming to you because you're demanding, but if you stop demanding gossip, then it will not come to you. Gossip. And how to stop? Many time I have gave remedy, remedy, but one more time I'm giving you remedy. If someone come to you, and if they are not going to talk to you productivity, even someone over the phone too, if they don't talk to you productive talk, then what you must do? Divert the talk, shift the talk straight away towards the Bhagavad Gita. And you are watching my Bhagavad Gita, so you must have learned something about the Bhagavad Gita, how to speak, and all the, even yada yada hi dharmasya, even if you talk about yada yada hi dharmasya, glanir bhavati bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya, this is, even you start that, I'm telling you, those gossiping personalities, right, they will run away from you. Why? Because this is not them type of the thought. They're only there to put the poison in your mind, poison in your child mind. You need to protect your child from this, and these are the basic things which is I'm telling you. These are the system which will keep your family together, which will keep your entire aura of that culture together, and that is where we're going to be managed to keep our culture alive. Other things, we know in olden days, and I started initially my talk about explanation about olden days, how we used to live. Like many years ago, I'm talking not even far, 40 years ago, what was the house system? We must take our shoes out. In our kitchen we cannot enter with the shoes. We must be follow the certain kind of the basic rules. Those all was there for our benefit. Because of the over the years, these brainwashers, marketing and the branding gurus, those who are very active on a social media, they have damaged everything, brainwashed our children, our youth mind, by giving them a convenient lifestyle. Children are forgetting, but today, after the many years later, when this corona is telling you, okay, to take your shoes out and being a hygiene and everything, now you want to follow. Where are these kind of this branding and marketing gurus who was teaching that is not necessary? We must remember those days. There was a marketing and branding gurus who used to come to your house, place of the worship, used to tell, no, no, these are the old ancient dramas and everything, and a very flourish word they used to use, and then brainwash and keeping away from, and then many people drain in them flourish word. But today is the World Health Organization telling you, follow this guideline. But it was there in our Hindu culture. It was there in our Hindu culture. Hygiene was the first things in our Hindu culture from day first. Our scriptures was telling the hygiene is the first thing we must do. Even when we start prayer, we said drink 3 times water and we sprinkle Gangajal everywhere. That is a process of the cleanliness. We use the word of process of the cleanliness, but it was a process of the hygiene. What I am trying to say is how we can keep our culture alive. That is these are the basic things we can do it. These are the basic things which we can do to keep our culture alive. And very important part, what I am always says, don't force anybody, educate them. The more, if you are going to force somebody, then they might do under the pressure, but as soon as that pressure will be released, they are going to go. So educate, we need to educate. This is where we can keep our culture alive. Educate them, put the facts front of them. Make them realize why we do it. And these are the basic things. Everybody can do it. What I'm saying, everybody can do it. It's not which is something new telling. Everybody easily can be get done easily. It's not a rocket science about it. I'm not telling you you must go on the moon and then think about it. Now bring the moon in your brain and you can think about it. It's very easy, but as far as how we can keep our culture alive, these are the basic things which I have given you, and only you can do it is to transform this skill to the next level. And again I am saying, don't demand gossip, demand Gita. If you demand the Bhagavad Gita, then gossip will stay away, and then since the gossip will stay away, then automatically you will be managed to keep your culture in your family. Because gossip is a slow poison. Gossip is the dangerous poison, deadly poison to kill our culture. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for giving me a support. If you have liked this video, share and subscribe this channel. Share it in your all your friends and family members groups where they also can learn how we can keep the culture alive. Tomorrow, કાલે આવતીકાલે આપણો દિવસ છે બુધવાર. બુધવારના દિવસે આપણે ચર્ચા કરીશું ગુજરાતીમાં. જાણીશું ગુજરાતીમાં. જો તમારે કોઈ પણ વસ્તુ જાણવી હોય ગુજરાતીમાં, તમારી પાસે મારો નંબર છે. નંબર ઉપર તમે ટોપિક મોકલી દેજો. એ ટોપિક ઉપર આપણે આવતીકાલે ચર્ચા કરીશું. વન્સ અગેન ધન્યવાદ. આપ સર્વનો ખૂબ ખૂબ આભાર. થેન્ક યુ વેરી મચ ફોર સપોર્ટિંગ. થેન્ક યુ વેરી મચ ફોર વોચિંગ. ઓ ઈશ્વર ભજીએ તને, મોટું છે તુજ નામ. ગુણ તારા નિત્ય ગાઈએ, થાય અમારા કામ. હેત લાવી હસાવતું, સદા રાખ દિલ સાફ. ભૂલ કદી કરીએ અમે, તો પ્રભુ કરજો માફ. ओम देव शांतिरंतरिक्षगुं शांति पृथ्वी शांतिरापः शांतिरोखदयः शांति वनस्पतयः शांतिर्विश्वे देवः शांति ब्रह्म शांति सर्वगुण शांति शांतिरेव शांति श्यामा शांतिरेधि. ओम शांति 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 शांति.